The A's offense has kicked it into another gear over the past 2 days. 31 runs in 2 games have Bob Melvin and the boys rolling as a postseason berth gets closer and closer. Tonight, the A's open up the last regular season series at home and could clinch a playoff spot at the Coliseum this weekend in front of the Oakland faithful. Just another great touch to cap off this magical 2018 season in the East Bay. A's and Twins, Game 1, next. Well, it's a cool night at the ballpark, but it is also the start of the final home weekend of the regular season. That's where the A's stand right now, 3.5 back in the division. They're sitting in that second wild card spot. They have a pretty firm grip on that wild card spot, and things are looking good for Bob Melvin and the Athletics. They're hoping for his celebration this weekend. It's the A's and the Minnesota Twins coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, the A's offense went crazy yesterday, 21 runs and 23 hits, and really, Ray, it was the whole series against the Angels. Man, the offense is swinging it.
You know, the one thing you've said has been exactly spot on, because everybody 1 through 9 is doing their job, scoring a lot of runs. You look at all the records really were set. I like the one at the bottom, the 5, 6, and 7 runs, first time since 43 with the Reds. But you look at their offense, it is 1 through 9. You've got guys in the bottom of the order doing their job, guys at the top setting the table. Everything is working perfectly. They're getting outstanding pitching. It's a great combination to have right now.
Yeah, the A's now 4th in the American League in total runs scored, and nobody is hotter right now than Stephen Piscotty to talk more about the A's right fielder. Let's check in with Dallas, who's downstairs.
Boys, dude is in fuego. What does that mean? You know what it means, boss. He is hot, hot, hot. And around this time, teams that are competing for a postseason spot tend to identify guys in their lineup, on their club, that can carry a team that really makes an offense go. The Oakland A's have a few of those, but you mentioned it. Nobody hotter right now than Stephen Piscotty. In the month of September, slash line 344, 406, 754, with an OPS north of 1100. You want to talk about getting it done? He's hitting 560 with runners in scoring position over the last month. You want to talk about clutch up? Stephen Piscotty, man of the hour.
And speaking of getting it done, the A's will try to do that this weekend. They have a magic number of 4 with 9 games left to play. Should be a fun weekend here at the Coliseum. Lineups and first pitch when we come back.
AC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Well, there's your opener for tonight, Liam Hendricks. He's doing the opener for the 7th time this year. Hey, let's check out the weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It is a chilly night, folks. About a half hour ago to start it to cool off big time. So it's going to be one of those chilly evenings here at the ballpark when it's all said and done. But a very nice crowd and a little extra buzz in the ballpark tonight for obvious reasons. Let's take a look at the lineup for the visiting Twins, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Mauer, Polanco, Cave, Grossman, Kepler, Austin, Adrianza, Estadio, and Petit. That's Gregorio Petit.
Yeah. Liam Hendricks once again is the opener for the Athletics. At his last time, just recently, threw just 7 pitches and he was gone, and that was it. But I don't see a clock working out there, so maybe they're going to have to do something. But Liam Hendricks actually took the mound. He was concerned that maybe he would not have enough time, but he kind of left everybody in the dugout. He said, I'm out there. I'm going to go throw. And he did. He's ready to go.
So here is the first pitch of the game to Joe Mauer, and it's in there for a strike. Umpires tonight. That's Lance Barrett. He's calling balls and strikes. Bill Welke's at first. He's the crew chief. Tony Randazzo is at second. Nick Marley is at third. So Mauer, Polanco, and Cave, the first 3 hitters in this Minnesota Twins lineup. Mauer at 276 with 6 home runs and 45 RBIs. He's got 25 doubles. He's got a triple, as always. Pretty high on base percentage.
Contemplating maybe retiring, which a little surprising. Seems to have some life left in his bat. We'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Well, without the power that we were used to seeing from Joe Mauer early on in his career, now having that tremendous eye, the patience at the plate, the ability to spoil pitches, settled in at the top of the order, a tremendous option for a leadoff spot, a leadoff hitter, in my opinion.
He's 35 years old.
The only problem is going to be the salary that he's making or been paid for being the home run hitter. But probably, Captain, the one thing when they moved to Target Field, they really did not accommodate him and his opposite field power that he displayed over at the Metrodome. And a little bit different at Target Field, but definitely a great eye, on base percentage, put a runner in scoring position, pretty good chance to drive him in.
Fastball up and in. Joe Mauer strikes out, and that's how this ball game gets started. The A's line up like this defensively. Martini, Laureano, and Piscotty in the outfield. It's Chapman, it's Simeon, it's Lowry, and it's Olson. Third, first, and Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher. So here's Jorge Polanco, the shortstop. He's a switch hitter. First pitch to Polanco is inside. So the A's with a magic number of 4. Everybody knows the number.
And they also know the out-of-town scoreboard, which means that the A's just control their own destiny. They've got 9 games to get the number from 4 down to a wild card or some sort of postseason spot.
Well, right now the Rays are winning big in Toronto, 11-3 in the 8th inning.
They may look back to last night, 8-2 in the 9th inning, and lost 9-8. They may look at that game and say, what if? Or of course some other games throughout the season, perhaps.
Well, I think the Rays were going to have to. They were going to have to win them all, no matter what.
But the way the A's played them last weekend, maybe they had a pretty good chance of doing it. They're pretty good considering the system that they're using, but it's very difficult to win every game, especially not to go against the teams that you're trying to chase. Well, this was last night. There's Hansen, the first one. That was a 3-run shot. The biggest one was Gurriel, tied the game at 2. A Hagen breaking ball from Romo. And then a changeup following that breaking ball to Justin Smoke. And there you go. Walk-off, game over.
happened fast.
It did happen fast, man. It was hardly celebrate the tie. The next thing you know, Smoke's walking it off. But it was just an easy fly ball with 2 outs to center field. That one of those big swings. The center fielder breaks back. It's not caught. Opens up a 2-run home run or walk off, and one of those things that just meant to be.
Wild card. The Yankees are winning 9-4 in the 8th inning. So those are the 2 games we'll keep obviously a very close eye on. This one is lined toward the right field corner, but it's foul. Astros are winning 7-2 over the Angels in the 6th inning at home.
Well, the half game between the A's and the Yankees right now will be next Thursday when the A's are off, and the Yankees will be playing the 4th game of their series against the Tampa Bay Rays down in St. Pete. But that man knows that as long as the A's win, and I guess the mantra now for the Athletics is control your own destiny, and it's true.
A's have not lost in their last 14 home series. 2-2 pitches low. So now it's 3-2. Yeah, actually the half game with the A's and the Astros will be evened out on that same day.
Same day, you're right. Good point. Yeah.
Astros 3.5 game lead over the A's.
They're scheduled a little bit easier than the Yankees, though. I mean, if you look at it on paper.
That one's hit very high down the right field line. But it's going to be fouled into the 2nd level. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Twins come in with a 71-81 record. They have won 4 in a row. They were off yesterday after sweeping the Detroit Tigers. The final stop on a long road trip. They're 4-3 on this 10-game trip. Paul Molitor, who was the manager of the year last year. And a 3-2 breaking ball down and in, and a pretty good take by Polanco.
I think the Twins also looking at what they did last year as a second wild card and lost to the Yankees in that one game. But they know that they have a pretty good team. They have really depleted their ball club of several key players. But still, those who are playing are good. The A's found out in the Twin Cities.
It was quite a turnaround for the Minnesota Twins coming into last year and experiencing the success they did, coming off a 100-loss season the year before.
Yeah, the Twins lost that wild card game last year in New York 8-4.
That was after a 3-0 lead in the top of the first.
They jumped out early. Yeah.
Joe Mauer, former catcher, of course. Too many shots off the head, moved him to first base, and he's been there for quite a while now. Says he still misses catching, which is not surprising.
0-1 the count to Jake Cave. Jake Cave playing center field. Twins are 9th in the American League in runs scored. They're not a big home run hitting team. They're 12th in the league in home runs hit, 159. In there for a strike. So the offense was very good last year for the Twins, but they have taken a step backwards. Last year they were 4th in the league in runs scored. They scored over 800 runs last year.
That's a lot of runs.
Yeah. 0-2 with Robbie Grossman in the on-deck circle. Not close.
I like what Liam Hendriks says about being the opener. Of course, he's a former starter, and he knows how to prepare. Of course, as a reliever, the interesting thing was watching Chris Bassett throw like he was starting, and all of a sudden it's Liam Hendriks. But he said, what's the difference, whether it's the first inning or 6th inning or 7th inning or sometimes the 8th or 9th? But if it's one inning, just go in and air it out.
And I don't think Liam Hendriks, at least in kind of watching him before the game, he's not going down there early, going through some long pregame deal getting himself ready to pitch. I think he's going down there, getting himself loose fairly quick and ready to go.
Absolutely. That's Chris Bassett, who is expected to follow Liam Hendriks.
And quite frankly, it's probably the best way to go about it if you're Liam Hendriks. I mean, why act like you're a starter?
Right. That's right.
Even if you are, but you're only going to pitch one inning. So those are the numbers in the first 6 starts.
Well, the idea about keeping with the same program, again, creature of habit, especially being a bullpen guy, no need to switch things up.
3-2 now. So 7th time that the A's have used the opener.
Well, Simeon and Chapman are talking. Is that Lowry? It's Simeon. But they're talking as far as who's going to cover, because one's going to cover and one better cover third if there is a strike him out, throw him out, or at least a stolen base, maybe.
Polanco goes. The ball is pop foul back.
Well, and you can kind of tell that Polanco was thinking about going a couple pitches before he was leaning.
Yeah.
Liam checked over there. You could sort of see Polanco leaning. He was able to get back. Take a look. LaCroix catching one on the backswing, just on the mask. Everybody's good, though. Everybody's all right.
That's why you wear the helmet, have the mask, and get as much protection as possible. The only thing with the hockey-style mask protects the side of your face, especially as he was getting up ready to throw. And expect to do it again.
Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
But one of the things with the shift and nobody at third base, that means if, and it's a big if, but if Polanco were able to steal second, he may pop up and head to third. And that's why maybe the conversation ensued up the middle as to who's going to cover the bag and then who's going to go to third.
Polanco goes again, and the ball is looped into shallow center field. Could be trouble. Laureano with a little deke, and it may have worked.
Yeah.
Polanco got to second. He just was not quite sure. So he'll stay at second, and the Twins have 2 on and 1 out.
You know, I think the reputation of Laureano is preceding him, and there's a pretty good break looking back to see. And with the ball in center field, and Laureano's speed plays shallow, coming in and just could not get to it, but enough of a deke to keep it from being first and third, first and second, where you can still get the ground ball. See right there, he stopped with the ball going into center field. And I think a lot of that is Laureano and his ability to read the ball off the bat and charge after it.
So here is Robbie Grossman. Grossman at 273, 4 homers, 42 RBIs. First pitch is right in there, first strike.
Well, 3 of the first 4 batters he's thrown a first pitch strike, but a strikeout, a walk, and a bloop base hit. He's in trouble with runners at first and second.
He's tried to work these lefties in. If he's able to chase Robbie Grossman to the inside part of the plate, might find himself a 2-ball in there.
And that one catches the outside corner, and now it's 0-2. Well, the last time Hendriks did this, he threw just 7 pitches. Different story tonight. He's at 23.
That's how you do it. You take the shoestrings and tuck them in your shoe so you don't step on them.
Just doing a little yard work.
Well, Liam is more of a just a 4-seam, rear back and throw hard fastball type pitcher, and like to get some sort of a low or sinking action and get a ground ball to get the 2-ball that Dallas referenced.
Grossman got a pretty good pitch to hit on 0-2, right down the middle.
Well, again, they're trying to chase him in, and Liam's got some good life on the heater tonight. Thing just crept back over. Got to be careful. Make sure you jam that in there. Might be a good time to go to that good downer curveball here.
Bronco at second, Cave at first. And he got it. Off-speed pitch. So a couple of strikeouts here in the first inning.
Well, there it was, that curveball. You can see the spike grip away. Might have liked this thing a little more middle, maybe down, but gets away with the backdoor action from Robbie Grossman. You can see the frustration as he goes back and is explaining it. Ball just out. Felt like it was up. I had a shot. Not so much.
So 2 away. Here's Max Kepler. Kepler with 19 home runs and 52 runs batted in. .225 batting average. Swing and a miss. Kepler has 29 doubles and 4 triples.
He's got some power, as we have seen since he came to the Twins.
Tried to go upstairs again, and Kepler lays off. Kepler hit a home run off Trinan?
Yes, he did. Late in the ball game, and it was not cheap.
No, it wasn't.
I think that's what you're referencing, Foss, his ability to get to that 98, 99 on the inner half, turn and burn, no problem.
Olson's got it. Olson to Hendricks. So Liam Hendricks works out of the jam. The Twins strand a couple of runners in the top of the first. Their starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Martini, Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olson, the Red Hot, Stephen Piscotty, and then Laureano, Simeon, and Lucroy.
Well, a young man who started against the Athletics at the Target Field, Jose Barrios. He made his first start against the Athletics. He was the last team that he had faced, and he did a nice job, except that A's finally got to him and got to the bullpen. But his 31st start for the young man, which is very good considering his age. 11-11 record with a sub-4 earned run average. Good quality pitcher. He's got some good pitches that the A's at least now seeing him for the second time. Fastball low 90s, low to mid 90s.
Good stuff.
Yes, he does.
He's an all-star this year. Had a very good first half. He is slowed down a little bit in the second half. Comes right at you. Breaking ball. There's Chris Bassett, who we figured would be next up after Liam Hendricks, and he is now loosening up. 3-0.
Wait, Barrios is starting better hurry fast because Barrios is not taking any time. Which is kind of refreshing to see somebody get the ball and throw it.
Well, you know, Foss, I spent some time with former pitching coach of mine, Garvin Alston, now current pitching coach for the Minnesota Twins, as well as a good buddy of mine, Eddie Gordado. Everyday Eddie, the former stopper for the Seattle Mariners and Minnesota Twins. And both men remarked about Berrios wanting to create rhythm early, doing a good job of doing so. And we know how important that can be.
And a lot of movement on that fastball, 94 miles an hour, and it caught the inside corner.
Well, the 2 and 4 seam fastball for this young man, and this ball is going to come back, and that is one that's a great two-seamer at 94. To start in, you get that buckle in the knees and the hip, and all of a sudden it catches the inside corner. Not a bad pitch to go to for the first time, and to be able to get the call strike 3. And that's what he does throw, mostly fastballs, but that two-seamer is a special pitch.
Pitchcast tonight brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
And if I'm the Oakland A's lineup, that's something I take note of immediately, especially as a lefty, understanding that if I get to 2 strikes, he might try to bring that fastball back early, or excuse me, late in the count, early on in the game. Same thing can go for the right-handed hitters. You find yourself in a hole early in the game, taking note of how he disposed of Martini. Might be a fastball away to a righty late in the count.
Yeah, Matt Chapman with his 19th, a 2-2 curveball from this young man at the target field. There's your breaking ball. It was 1 of 2 that he hit in the game, just down the left field line. And that's what Matt Chapman, we've seen him with a breaking pitch do that. Fastballs go to the opposite field. It was Chappie.
That was right, Chappie. And did he go? No. Just held up.
Pays to be strong. Get your wrist curls in.
So full count with Lowry waiting in the on-deck circle. And a good fastball at 96 miles an hour, and that's a swinging strikeout. So 2 away here in the bottom of the first. The Twins look like this defensively. Grossman, Cave, and Kepler in the outfield. Adrianza, Polanco, Petit, and Maurer on the infield. And Williams, Astudillo is your catcher. So here's Lowry. 21 homers, 94 RBIs for Jed. 37 doubles and a triple. Lowry playing in his 49th game this year. So back-to-back seasons where he has really stayed completely healthy.
You know, a nice thing too, Cap, we've talked about the off days that are already scheduled throughout the season, and that has helped a lot of the players, and I think it's including Jed Lowry. He's gotten some time off where it's maybe a game that's preceded an off day, so he gets the 2 days off. Always a nice piece to have on the bench if you need him to pinch hit when he does have a scheduled day off. Could be happy for him to stay healthy, be having one of his best seasons.
Lowry with 151 hits. He's scored 74 runs. The hits are second on the team to Marcus Simeon's 155.
If you think about an all-star season for Jed Lowry, and last year while his Houston Astros, a team that he played for before being traded back and forth to the A's, won a world championship, don't you think he'd like to say, okay, you did it there last year, we'll do it this year?
A little bit inside, he walked it.
3 consecutive 3-2 counts for Berrios, and that will get the pitch count up quickly. Only difference in he and Liam Hendricks. Hendricks is going to be out after his 1 inning, but Berrios being a starting pitcher will be in the game.
This is Berrios' second full season in the big leagues. He had a very good first full season. He was 14-8 last year in 25 starts. This year the record not as good, but he's probably pitching better. A little bit of a different team.
Yes, exactly.
Facing Chris Davis, 43 home runs and 116 RBIs. Chris Davis. And he drives one. Right center and deep. And that baby's gone.
gotcha! Gets what he likes real early. Center cut from Jose Barrios. Foot down on time and take a look. Out to center. Foscott, you got your bags packed? All aboard! Next stop, Pound Town!
And here's Matt Olson. So number 44 for Chris Davis. That's impressive.
Very impressive.
Now, if he hits one more to center field to give him 45,
yeah, that's it.
15, 15, 15. Right. Wouldn't that be something?
He's capable of doing it. You know what? The umpire, Lance Baird, just said, wait a minute, there are 4 outfielders. Are we okay here? But that's how many times have we seen this year where Jed Lowry, in hitting third, has drawn a walk, and Chris Davis has come up right behind him and hit a home run. I mean, that is pretty special. But it's the patience of Jed Lowry, and there are 4 outfielders that we saw target field. And there's nobody in straightaway center field. So Matt Olson, they are out there, even though it's kind of hidden. That's why Ole decided to bunt. It was Jed Lowry. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. They're out there, folks. There's 4 of them.
Adrianza is the infielder that moved out to left field. They hire Adrianza.
And it was Jed Lowry who bunted at target field with 4 outfielders. The first bunt base hit for the Athletics this season.
So Olson is retired. Polanco throws him out. But the A's get a home run by Chris Davis. 44th home run of the year. The A's with an early 2-0 lead here at the Coliseum.
Sports California is brought to you by TriNet, human resources that know your business.
Two 2-0. The A's lead thanks to Chris Davis' first inning home run. I feel like we've probably said that a few times this year.
Well, that's a great way for the A's to get on the board thanks to KD. 44. Chris Bassett comes on as the pitcher following the opener as he starts the second inning. The strange thing about the way things are going now for Liam Hendriks, who was the first opener for the Athletics against the Seattle Mariners. He left the game, 2 runs scored. He got the loss. Chris Davis hits a home run tonight. He can't get the win. Pitching just the first inning.
The life of an opener. Thankless.
Yes, thankless is right.
A little bit outside. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Bassett facing Tyler Austin They hire Adrianza and then Williams Astudillo. So 3-1 to Tyler Austin, the designated hitter. He had a couple of home runs against the A's in Minneapolis. This one's hit well. Laureano going back. Laureano still going back, and right at the last second, he reaches out and makes the catch.
Well, you remember the restaurant at Target Field? Well, that's the direction this one was headed, but fortunately, a little bit different weather here at the Coliseum. That will knock down perhaps by the marine layer coming in, and Laureano, an exceptional center fielder, to go back to the warning track to bring it in. Sets himself up. You see a little side saddle that he goes, but Austin's shown that he can hit the long ball.
So here's Adrianza, and he takes a fastball on the inside corner first strike. Adrianza right at 250. 6 home runs. 19 doubles. Utility man for the Twins. Adrianza. So switch hitter. Slaps that one foul.
He's getting some looks over there at third base. Started 12 of the last 15 games for the Twinkies over at third. Had a pretty decent month. Driven in 11 runs this month in the 14 games he's been in.
Just in a long line outside waiting to cut in to get the Sean Manaea bobblehead. Nice looking bobblehead. Sorry he's not here. Nice to see the Instagram coming out of the surgery and wish him well, and hope to see him back sooner than later.
That one rolled foul.
You know, the nice thing about an offseason for baseball players to be able to enjoy the offseason and get ready for the next year. The worst thing is have to rehab from an injury and then think about getting ready for the next year. But it's no fun.
Well, it's the mindset, and it's the mental games.
Those curve is way high.
Those are the toughest parts for a player, just any athlete, trying to come back and get back to where you once were.
Isn't it really, Dallas and Ray, you were injured some in your career. It's just the fact that the improvement, or hey, I feel a little bit better, but it's so small, it's so minute.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you're not going to take some big leap where, hey, oh man, I feel a lot better today. It's not going to
happen. No, it's not going to happen. Just a high fastball after the slow curveball that didn't make it. That was a pitch out of the strike zone, similar to his curveball that he throws effectively. The wind blowing tonight, it might affect the slow curveball. But I think the biggest thing, like Dallas said, is it's the patience, the mindset, because the worst thing you can do as an injured player, and the great thing about trainers these days and strength and conditioning coaches, they give you a program, and you do not deviate from the program, and that's probably the best thing that can happen.
Well, that's the thing, is you're micromanaging your injury, you're micromanaging the process in which you're utilizing to get back, and you're looking for macro results. You want to feel those big results after the first 48 hours worth of treatment. All right, I should be back. I'm game ready now. Wait a minute, I'm not. What's going on?
But there's a great motivation, and I know when I had one of my knee surgeries and came back, the doctor who operated on me, and that was before the arthroscopic surgery, he said, I wish every patient had your attitude. I said, well, I have a job to do. You know, I'm going to go back and catch and play baseball. So yeah, my cartilage tear, I want to get it well so I can catch.
Grounded to short. Simeon straightens up, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Chris Bassett. Bottom of the second, coming up 2-0. The A's lead.
jersey off the back of an A's player coach following the game. Fans who make a donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund at home games through tomorrow will receive a scratcher card with a chance to win. Fans will also have the chance to win autographed baseballs, a Swagger 2019 suite, and more. Find designated team member throughout the ballpark or visit section 217 for your chance to win. Oh, I think that would be a hot item.
The Kelly Green Piscotti jersey. It's a big one right now.
Did you see Steve Vucinich and his crew downstairs in the home clubhouse? They all had this colored jersey or golf shirt on tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now this is what Piscotti did yesterday. Back-to-back games in which he did this. A 3-run home run. Shoemaker knew it. He just threw a slider off the plate. And he swung and missed. Came back. Deked him. And hung it. And Piscotti, as hot as he is, didn't miss it.
Grounds this one to short. Polanco, his throw is a little wide, but Joe Mauer kept his foot on the bag. So out number one. Piscotti with 22 RBIs in the month of September. And the A's have played 17 games in September. Well, it helps when you had 4 yesterday and 5 on Wednesday. So that's 9 RBIs in 2 games.
And you saw Kipnis with 16. He with a grand slam walk-off style to pump his number up a little bit. But, you know, as we've talked about, when you have 1 through 9, you have everybody contributing. I mean, it makes it nice. And then Edwin Jackson talked about it the day after yesterday. And to get the run support, he said, I didn't want to let him down.
That's a shot, base hit center field. Laureano, big turn, puts on the brakes. A 1-out single for Ramon Laureano.
I tell you, this kid is just so much fun to watch. And sitting down here field level, you can hear the crack of the bat. You can hear him digging hard. Look at the tenacity which he plays the game with. Something that every young boy and girl watching this game today can take note of. You play the game hard, you play the game right, more times than not, good things will happen, things will work out for you. Ramon Laureano, the poster boy right now for playing with your hair on fire.
And I like I think it was a tweet or something, there was a video, it showed Joey Wendell running hard to first base, and the caption said he made it out, but he ran hard. And, you know, that's the way you play the game. I think every fan, and we've talked about it, Kai, forever, that every fan would be happy to come and pay a lot of money to watch a baseball game, to watch what Laureano just did. That's a base hit. And I'm sure Paul Molitor in the visiting dugout is very appreciative of watching his hustle to first base and taking a chance, rounding first in case there's a mistake in the outfield to take second.
So 1-1 to Marcus. Paul Molitor, he was running full speed about one step out of the batter's box.
That's right. This thing's still the only player to get his 3,000th hit with a triple. Did that in Anaheim. Wade Boggs with a home run. I mean, you got 3,000 hits, you just hope for getting a hit. You don't care what it is. The Molly with his hustle, and you're right. Being with him in '78 when he first came up and played so well, they said we can't send him out. So they found a place for him. Milwaukee Brewers.
A little bit inside.
And I know, how old were you when you were watching?
78. I was 15. How old were you?
I was playing. Oh,
15.
Yeah, that's good. But you got a chance to see some pretty good Brewers teams there.
Yep.
Yeah. Harvey's Wallbangers.
Problem is, I was an Indians fan, and they beat the Indians all the time.
Well, that's fine then.
All the time.
Oh, how about
little
that?
flare could be a thing of beauty, and it is. Laureano on the move, and he'll easily make it to third.
A great hit and run, or at least a run and hit, with Simeon hitting behind Laureano. And the great thing about what Laureano does, he took off running and he didn't stop. He was going to be out if it's caught anyway, and he just kept running. He actually ran hard to third, almost like he was going to try to score if Matt Williams had sent him. But hustling, I mean, that's sprinter. I wish a lot of guys could run that fast. But that is a great job of hitting and base running.
So opportunity for Jonathan Lucroy. Runners at the corners and just one out.
You see the eyes of Jonathan Lucroy as he came to hit infielders back. He's looking though to see where the infielders are playing.
And Lucroy with a bunt attempt, and he bunts it foul.
See Luke, probably a bit of a safety squeeze here. Just ends up lunging at the baseball a little bit. You want to let this thing travel to you. Lucroy will tell you that he gets another opportunity to do so. He'll execute. But it might be a matter of making sure you look down there and got the right sign.
Right field, not deep. Laureano tags. Kepler's got it. Laureano's coming home. The throw is late. 3-0 Athletics.
What a thing of beauty.
It was not a great throw by Kepler.
No, it was not. But Jonathan Lucroy, if you're a hitter and you see this kind of speed from your guy at third base, and you realize that maybe it's not as deep as you think enough to score him, and here comes the speed. Not a particularly strong throw by Kepler, and the head first slide by Laureano. But this is speed. You see, wow. I mean, that is fun to watch, isn't it? You see that left arm when he took off, it's like, here we go. And he took off with a head first slide, not even a close play at the plate. You know, Laureano saves errors, if you will, for a catcher by backing up in center field when the catcher throws to second base, giving really Lucroy or Fegley or Taylor a chance to quickly throw to second because he's always backing up. And with that kind of speed, taking off for third base, I mean, watch. I mean, that left arm took off, and this is straight. I'm going to run. Kid can play it. It's fun to watch.
So here's Nick Martini. It's a big chopper. Indrian's got to wait, and he's not going to be able to make the play. Once he waited, he was in trouble. And the thing is, Ray, he waited.
Yeah.
But when he waited, it actually was a very difficult hop.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what you do. You sometimes try to take that bad hop away, and he should have charged the ball with the high hop. You're exactly right. Right there, he should have charged it instead of waiting for it to come back, because once it hit the ground, it took a funny spin. And then he had to reach for it. At that point, not really the kind of smoothness he wanted in the transfer.
So it is an E5, and I think that's a good call. He really misplayed it in a couple different ways. So here's Matt Chapman. A run in for the A's. They lead 3-0. There's a shot scooped by Polanco. He fires to first, and that will do it. A's get a run on a couple of hits and a sacrifice fly. Third inning coming up. 3-0 A's. Here's Dallas Braden with the manager.
All right, I'm with the skipper, Bob Melvin. Skip, obviously tonight, not the first time we've gone the bullpenning route. Talk to us a little bit about how the team and the pitching staff as a whole has sort of taken to this approach.
Well, you know, it's the first time that's the most uncomfortable. And once you do it a few times, then, hey, it's just kind of part of what we do. Obviously, with the injuries we've had to the rotation, we're trying to get a little creative.
Well, the boys came out banging last series against the Halos, putting up 30-plus runs over that series. Is there such a thing as momentum? And right now, what does it mean to be able to create that heading into the postseason?
You know, I think there is. It would certainly, you know, against certain teams, depending on the pitching, we had a good weekend. It was warm. We were swinging the bats well. You have to get a few games under your belt to do that. Chris Davis hitting a home run the first thing was a nice little start for it. But you know what? I think our guys are getting pretty excited right now. Certainly nothing's been given to us yet. We're trying to take it.
Skip, appreciate the time. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Guys, back to you.
Well, I think that's interesting. I think the interview was presented by Xfinity. I think it's interesting that Bob says, hey, the guys are getting excited.
Sure.
And it's human nature, right? And I think baseball players in general are they keep their emotions in for the most part. It's a long season. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. But when you're this close and you realize that, you know, in the next couple days or maybe over the weekend, there's a real good chance that you're going to get yourself into postseason.
Yeah.
How can you not think about that as a player?
Well, and I think, and Bob Melvin said it best, the guys have worked hard all summer to get to this point. They deserve to celebrate, to enjoy it, if or when it happens. I think it's a matter of when it's going to happen, because they are playing well enough to make it happen. And go to the magic number of 4 with 9 to go. If they win every game or win 4 games, it doesn't matter what the other teams do. The only thing that might help is if what the Yankees might not do when they play next week, where they have 7 tough games. But you know, you get to postseason. Your brother said it best. You get hot, you can win. And you know, that's,
they saw it across the bay.
Exactly. That's exactly what Dwayne said. And you know, you get hot at the right time, and you get a big horse like Bumgarner can go out and start a series. I think of Catfish that we had that did the same thing. But you know, that's what you hope for, just to get there, because you're one of the select teams that can make it, and anything can happen if you get hot.
Well, I think when you start looking at the teams that are in or going to be in, I think the A's lineup is as good as any of them, and it's a grind out lineup. And I think it's a lineup that can do more than just hit home runs, and I think that's very important come postseason. And I don't think that was the case with the A's necessarily last year.
Yeah.
But this year it's different. It's a long lineup, production from all across the board, and guys grind through it. And I do think that the A's can win games without hitting home runs. And
they're very
bullpen's really good.
Yeah, they're very athletic, and that helps tremendously when you get into postseason and you're playing the best teams. I always say you're playing the best teams, the best pitching, and you have to manufacture runs. To your point, if you don't rely on the long ball and you can do the little things to help you score runs, then you're going to win games.
Well, I think we just got a little taste of that last half inning. Marcus Semien, the skipper, putting Ramon Laureano in motion, creating a little bit of offense, and I think he sort of alluded to it. You know, he mentioned the boys are getting excited. I think he's getting excited as well, and he mentioned that they're not waiting around for anything to be given or handed to them. They're looking to take it. They are hunting. They are the hunters.
And I wonder too, and I don't know, this may be just a off the wall thought, but you wonder too, is if Bob Melvin said, hey, we got 9 games left, we're in a wonderful spot, we know we hit tons of home runs, they try a few things this last night. So let's hit and run a little bit more to see how it works. To see who's, you know, what combination does it work best with.
Well, and I think again, sort of piggybacking on my original point, Jonathan Lucroy turns around and squares for a safety squeeze.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that we just haven't seen the Oakland A's attempt or the Oakland A's deploy. And again, Bob Melvin talks about hunting, talks about seeking out. It's plays like that put you on notice.
Swing and a miss, throw to second base, and it goes into center field. Gregorio Petit stumbled getting up, so he'll stay at second base with the stolen base. With 1 out, hey, it's time now for an October Quest update. All right, so that's the first update of the night with the Rays winning big in Toronto. So they bounce back after a brutal loss last night. So the A's do not get any help north of the border. So, and as Brody said, if the A's win tonight, the magic number goes down to 3. So we'll obviously keep you very updated on that. As far as the magic number goes, the only 2 teams that can move that needle at all, the A's and the Rays.
Yeah.
The other stuff with the Yankees and the Astros, that's all about, well, how close can the A's get to maybe hosting a wild card game or catching the Astros. The Astros winning big at home over the Angels in the 9th inning. So Astros are going to win tonight.
Well, again, I think the most important thing is maintaining the mindset as a club that our man Foss has talked about at length. You don't worry about anybody else. You keep playing your brand of baseball, and at the end of it, you'll be where you need to.
Well, I think you play all year to get yourself in a spot like the A's are in, where you really don't have to stress too much about what other teams are doing.
I mean, the out-of-town scoreboards are nice, but when you're playing on the West Coast and those other teams on the East Coast, you're going to find out what they have done before you play. In the case of the A's, knew the Rays had won on Wednesday and vice versa yesterday, and who knows if that contributed to the 9th inning. I doubt it, but the Rays did know that the A's had defeated the Angels in the game yesterday afternoon before they played last night.
Pitch is fouled back by Jorge Polanco.
While we were getting an update, there was the stolen base, and we're talking about with Laureano and how he charged in, and Petit, who stole second with the ball going into center field, but is Laureano backing up, and Petit stays at second base instead of being at third base with the throw going to the center. He sets up that way to, as the pitch is being made, then square himself up, and that is his setup position. As there he is, and a great shot. Everybody's different in what they do, and whatever Laureano's doing don't change.
No, and it's pretty cool for me to be down here watching, because I get to watch Matt Chapman get into his pre-pitch routine, squat down like Spider-Man. I get to see Ramon Laureano do the same thing as well. So to each his own, but it's all about getting ready.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss on a pitch that was out of the strike zone. So that is 2 outs, and let's get a quick October Quest update once again.
Now batting, number 60, Jake Cave.
All right, and the Yankees now have a magic number to get into the postseason of 2. So they get a win, hold on to that #1 wild card spot.
Well, I think the irony of the whole thing for the Athletics in 14, they were hanging on by the threads. And we were down in Arlington when Sonny Gray pitched the shutout to get the A's into the second wild card. This year, unexpectedly, the A's are hopeful of getting the postseason.
Jake Cave gets hit by a big overhand curve.
Just trying to loop this thing in here. Take a look at the back foot.
Now batting, number 36.
Right there off the instep.
So does that mean, Dallas, when they say throw your curveball at his back foot, they don't really mean like throw it at his back foot, just in that area?
Exactly. They'd prefer no contact if you can handle, if you can control that. Absolutely. But that's the path that they are looking for that pitch to take.
So Bassett took it literally, and he really did throw it at his back foot.
He buried it on the back foot.
It's that baseball lingo, you know.
It's kind of like that Ron Burgundy approach. He will read it. You got to tell him. Maybe just bury that.
Got him in a little trouble. 1-0 to Robbie Grossman. 2 on, 2 out. Chris Davis will hit second. He's come to bat in the bottom of the third, sitting on a 2-run homer already.
Oh, we talk about Raymond. How about Clay Wood back there?
It's good to see Clay Wood.
Dr. Schwartz was photobombing.
Olson's got it. Olson steps on the bag, and a couple more runners stranded by the Twins. Bottom of the third coming up. 3-0 A's.
ABC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
3-0 A's lead. It is the bottom of the third. It's Portuguese Heritage Night at the ballpark. Cooling off. You see the beanies come out. It'll be Lowry, Davis, and Olson. A's with 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Lowry worked a 2-out walk, seemed innocent at the time. Then that gave Chris Davis a chance to hit, and he homered. Seen it a lot.
Well, what we saw on Wednesday night with Jet Lowry running third, jumped on the first pitch, shallow fly ball, couldn't score the runner, then walked 3 times. So I mean, it's kind of reversed tonight where he's patient, didn't get a pitch to hit. Rios threw first 3 batters, 3 and 2 counts. A couple of strikeouts are actually strikeouts before the walk, and then with Chris Davis. Rios and he just don't throw him a fastball there. First inning, and Chris Davis with a home run to right center. And he's just a very, very powerful man. So number 44, Reggie, number 47 and 69. Double X with 58 and 32. How about just Mr. Consistency, 40 plus in 3 consecutive years?
Yep, it's not easy to do.
I think the biggest thing, and you hear people talk about Miller Park, well, he's going to come to the Coliseum and not be able to hit home runs. Yeah. I don't think so. I think when you're as powerful as Chris Davis is, it does not matter the park, the weather, anything. He can do it all.
Well, J.D. Martinez did not hit a home run tonight. He did not drive in a run. So right now, Chris Davis has 44 home runs. J.D. Martinez has 41. And as far as RBIs go, Martinez has 124. Davis has 118. And a hot High fastball, and that's a swing and a miss.
Let's go back to the homer earlier. 107 miles an hour off the bat, 29-degree launch angle, almost 410 feet away from home plate. Ball is crushed.
And you see how the guys are dressed and the fans are dressed, and which means it's the fog is coming in. It's heavy air, but Chris Davis, it doesn't matter to him.
StatCast AI is powered by AWS.
They think it's a little cool.
I'm with them.
Matt Olson's wondering, why me? Why 4 outfielders for me? I mean,
Why
seriously,
me?
why me? I mean, really?
And the Twins probably have this long chart of every ball that Matt Olson has hit in the last 2 years, and they would say, here's why.
Well, Paul Molitor said in Minneapolis, he says, we're considering doing it with Chris Davis. I said, good luck, because he can go over any outfielders you put out there.
Strike 3 called, so Barrio strikes out the side in the bottom of the third. 4th inning coming up. A's leading 3-0. The Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So the A's leading 3-0, top of the 4th inning. Chris Bassett enters his 3rd inning of work. Liam Hendriks started. Worked out of a jam in the first through 28 pitches, and then Bassett came in the 2nd. He worked out of a jam last inning.
Does not seem to be as sharp as we have seen him at times. And
inside corner strike to Max Kepler.
I think it takes a little bit of getting used to if you're coming in as a starting pitcher, but you're coming in after somebody's already pitched the 1st inning. But as much as the A's have done it now, especially Liam Hendriks doing the starting, it doesn't matter whether Bassett follows him or Daniel Mingden. Tonight it is Bassett.
Pop-up. Chapman hustling over right in front of his own dugout. Chappie's got it. So out number 1. Hey, let's check back in with Brody for an October Quest update. All right, so it's okay, Brody.
Yeah,
it's okay,
Brody.
buddy.
If the A's win, Brody, the magic number is 3.
Worried about him, man. Takes this stuff way too serious. So the Astros, with that win, their magic number to clinch the West is now 6. So the A's just trying to keep a little pressure on the Astros. Pitch is in for a strike to Tyler Austin. A's will be in Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then finish against the Angels down in Anaheim Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with that off day on Thursday. And then Nicky Morabito says, where are we going? Find out. Actually, there's not that many variables. The A's would either fly to New York or fly back home.
Yeah.
Right.
And because if they happen to win the division, they'd host the Indians.
They would host the Indians, yeah.
And
so that would
Friday, or if they're the second wild card, they'd play the Yankees in New York. Or if they're the first, they play here on Wednesday. So you're right.
So it's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
1-2 to Tyler Austin. Big curve, takes it. Certainly the postseason picture is very much coming into focus. So it's pretty clear in the American League. National League a little bit cloudy yet.
Well, that's where the excitement's going to be, the NL West.
And the Central, too. Central involved in that 3 teams there fighting into that wild card. 2-2 the count. And another breaking ball and another take by Austin. Austin hit a deep drive to center field in the 2nd inning.
That's the, speaking of strong wrist, Dallas, there you are with Tyler Austin. He is a strong young man. The Yankees traded him, but he is a very good hitter.
Piscotty hustling back. Piscotty makes the catch. 3 or 4 steps in front of the wall for the 2nd out. Yeah, we saw his opposite field power in Minnesota.
That's right, and the restaurant power at Target Field as well. Straightaway Central.
Now batting, number 16, Ray.
Also, it was about that time that he told his dad to stop tweeting. He said, "Dad, just leave it alone. I got traded. Can't do anything about it."
So here's Ray Adrianza, who takes a first pitch strike. Adrianza struck out swinging.
See Bassett sort of voicing his displeasure with himself, trying to repeat the release point.
He looked down almost like the landing spot wasn't secure for him or something, but he definitely showed some displeasure pitching out of the stretch, and that's something that he has gone for the windup and the stretch different times, but come in relief essentially. You come in as a reliever.
One-two pitch is hit in the air, shallow left center. Laureano hustling, and Laureano dives, and it gets past him. Adrianza will stop at second base. So it'll be a double. Laureano a long ways to run.
Yeah, he did have a long ways to run. Looked like he might have taken a step to the side initially. You can see there just at the onset But he's trying to get a good read on that ball. And you can see he's got unbelievable makeup speed, just unable to make up enough ground to get to this ball. With a good effort by Martini out there and left.
Well, that's the thing. As Martini, if the ball hadn't eluded him, it might have just been a single. But with 2 outs, you like to think if you can't catch it, you want to make sure you hold the runner to a base hit, a single, instead of putting him in scoring position.
Hit hard to Chapman. Studio is retired, and so are the Twins. Bottom of the 4th coming up from the Coliseum. Piscotty to lead it off.
Anniversary season in Oakland. What better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey? It's accompanied by world-class fireworks. That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks. Join us tomorrow beginning at 6:05 for our game against these Twins. Stay for the Bay's best fireworks. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today. Athletics.com/fireworks today. This kid's probably thinking Saturday. Got a chance to see some fireworks. I have to worry about school the next day.
Lucky.
Lucky kid.
It's a good day.
One 1-0 to Stephen Piscotty. Tapped slowly up the third base line, and it's going to be a foul ball. Studio grabbed it, but the home plate umpire, Lance Barrett, said that's a foul ball.
It's pretty good play from the backstop.
Kid can move. We saw him with his running ability in a non-A's game, but shows what he can do here. How about this? Catch, spin, 360, pick it up, then throw. Almost hit your third baseman. And foul ball, though. But that's the way you're supposed to do it. Do the 360. Pick up your target at first base, because if you circle around, we always say it takes longer. You cannot throw it as quickly and make it a stronger throw. He did it correctly, it just happened to be foul.
2-1 to Stephen Piscotty, who grounded to short in the second inning.
Rios working so quickly. Piscotty's putting a hand up to wait for time so he can get settled in.
And it hit him. The A's had their leadoff man aboard.
We've seen the arm side run all evening from Barrios. And this here just catches the back right forearm of Piscotty as this ball travels through the zone. He'll take it.
As long as it's not hit hard, because you got the protection on the left elbow, it's the right one that gets it, and that's the scary part, if it hits it just right. Anytime a catcher can catch a ball that hit a batter, From the hitter standpoint, it's good because it's grazed.
A glancing blow.
That's right.
It's the one that drops right at your feet after it hits you.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that, what do they say? They dig in a little bit.
Yeah, you can get the seams and you get Commissioner Manfred's signature in your body someplace. That's not good.
Swing and a miss and a pitch running in. Quick throw down to Scotty. Heads up.
Well, 3 people have to have their heads up. That's the runner, the first baseman, and the first base coach, Al Pedrique. Pedrique watching more of the pitcher, and boy, your eyes have to go quickly to the catcher, especially someone likes to throw.
Under the glove of Polanco, Piscotti hustling around second, and he's going to make it to third. Laureano running hard all the way, ends up at second. That, folks, is really good base running by the Athletics.
Well, it's tremendous base running by Stephen Piscotti to make that commitment to go first and third early. But Ramon Laureano, and we've seen it tonight a couple times, saw it on the hit and run, fully committed, but he knew the runner ahead of him, he's going first to third. This is going to give me an opportunity to get to second base, read the throw, the play is right in front of him. So just another wonderful job of executing fundamentally by the Oakland A's on the base pass, everybody involved.
Yeah, that, I mean, listen, of all the things the A's may do tonight offensively, that may be my favorite right there.
Yeah.
Because that's what we talked about.
Exactly. Doing the little things.
We're not talking about a 2-run homer
Right.
here.
And the best thing, like Dallas said, once Laureano, we've seen him run around the base hard. He rounded the bag hard. And once he saw the arm by Cave come up and throw to first, he just kept going because he knew he could make it easily. The problem Cave had was throwing to third. He should have thrown to second to keep the double play in order at worst, but by doing so, throwing to third and good heads up base running by Laureano, it's now second and third, nobody out the infield playing back. There are times you can throw or try to throw somebody out. There are times you say, let him go. I'm going to keep the double play in order.
And I think, Foss, to your point, I mean, that is obviously what you would like to do as a defender. And I think that's where Laureano's heads-up instinct comes into play. Because even if that ball's cut off, there's no shot. No. Laureano's cruising into second.
That's because he ran hard to first and rounded the bag. Exactly.
Yep. Pitch right on the inside corner.
Well, just watch Laureano. We saw him score from third. Here he's running the bag. He's running hard to first like it's an infield hit. And watch that. Just does not break stride and coast in the second once the throw went to third. But you only do that if you round the bag hard like Laureano did.
And now it's outside, and now it counts full.
We should interview Paul Malter after the game about Laureano. Because that's what he would say. That's the style of play. And he's probably saying to his own team, watch him, because that's the way we need to play the game. Because that's the way Molly did it.
Fouled off of Marcus Semien.
Well, for the player who never likes to come out of a game, we saw that in back-to-back games against the Angels. He stayed in when everybody was coming out, and this ball running hard in and got him on the left knee. That's not good.
Right off the inside of that kneecap.
That's the one we don't like to hear.
Cold weather doesn't help any, and Chad Pinder getting loose just in case. The super utility man for the Oakland A's.
It's hard to get number 10 out.
You're gonna have to
take a lot.
Shulman's gonna have to grab him by the ear flap and drag him off the field. Semien ain't going nowhere.
Now you drive in 5 yesterday like he did. You got the bases loaded now. You got a 3-2 count. Not the bases loaded, second and third, but it's just one of those things that he's not going to come out. He had the opportunity both games, Wednesday and Thursday, with big scores by the A's over the Angels. And you look around, you see all the players coming out, but Marcus Semien was the one constant that stayed in.
Hits this one in the air, plenty deep. Piscotti will tag. In fact, both runners will tag. Kepler gets it back in. It's going to be a sacrifice fly, and that's a very productive out by Marcus Semien, and the A's lead 4-0.
See if he comes out, he doesn't drive in his 62nd run. See the skipper's smile on his face, and That's good to see, but that's a fastball away. You know, a guy fouls his ball off his kneecap. Why go away? Why not come right back in the same spot? But Barrios goes outside. Simeon takes it to right field. Good heads-up base running by both. Ryan Shulman saying, "Are you okay?" And said, "Leave me alone. I'm fine."
Wow. Lucroy takes one up and in.
Well, I know the fans here don't really appreciate it, but Barrios has missed high and in arm side for the majority of the evening, and that's just an indicator that Barrios is a little quick on the front side. As you start to leak out, that arm drags behind you. You work underneath the baseball instead of on top and downhill, and that ball starts to run on you.
We go back to the first hitter of the game for the Athletics, and Martini on a 3-2 pitch. That same ball moving inside to the corner for the left-hander, inside, up and in to the right-hander, but it's the same movement. And to Dallas's point, he's just not doing what it should as far as leaking like that, and leaking hard because he does throw hard.
Everything is moving in a lot to right-handed hitters.
Well, and a lot of times you find it more difficult with that arm side movement to throw strikes on the glove side, or what would be away from Jonathan Lucroy right now. And at times pitchers are able to just almost in their sleep throw that pitch to the arm side, but that's what Barrios is having a difficult time with right now.
So he tries a little slider and it drops in for a strike, maybe a curveball.
No, it's a front door too, and expecting it outside, it stayed inside, and ball stayed in the strike zone. So regardless of the way the catcher caught it, the umpire saw it in the zone.
That's Gregorio Petit going back, and he grabs it. So that's the second out. Laureano still at third. So that was another breaking ball, just kind of spun up there.
And Kipe, even on those breaking balls, we've seen those. Astudillo set up away, that ball never making its way out there. So he's just a little quick, is Barrios right now, and working just a tad underneath the ball. Things are starting to flatten out.
So third at bat for Nick Martini. He struck out, reached on an error.
Bartender, couple olives for my man Martini. First big league round tripper coming off a catcher. Doesn't matter, still counts.
Well, I said today it's like Cy Young, and he said in about 30 days it will be. Because it doesn't matter, it's still a home run. But you know, the best thing Martini and what he did his last at bat, it was in E5, but his opposite field approach has been the thing that has really helped Martini as well as the Athletics and their offense. Because if you're not going to hit 25 or 30, don't try to hit 1 or 2 and change your swing. And maybe a little trip back to minor leagues, got his swing back. Aaron Bush, Mike Aldretti watching and appreciating the job that Martini is doing in the leadoff spot.
And he's on base for the second time as he has reached on an error and now a walk. So 74 pitches in this game for Jose Barrios. He had 1 3-up, 3-down inning. That was the third. He actually struck out to side.
Well, they threw 94 and 6 2/3 at his home park. Garvin Austin, the bullpen coach for the Athletics last year, got the job with Molitor this year.
Got some action now out in the Twins bullpen. Oliver Drake starts to throw.
Do you think that Eddie Guardado would say, I'm going to go to the bullpen, be the bullpen coach, and hold water for the pitcher? Do you think Eddie ever asked somebody to hold a bottle of water for him when he, everyday Eddie, got up to get loose?
The life of a bullpen coach. Here's Chapman. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. First pitch, foul back, and it was a hanger. Good group right below us. All decked out in green and gold.
Mark McGuire made the catch, number 25. Worn out by Stephen Piscotty.
So 0-2 the count. Chapman a strikeout and a ground out to short. '77 pitches now.
We've talked about how the A's make pitchers work, and tonight's a pretty good example of that. While bullpens are strong, sometimes the middle part of the bullpen is not as strong as the back end.
That's a fair ball. Adrian's a long throw across the diamond, and Chapman is retired. Another run for the A's. Sacrifice fly by Marcus Semien. A's leading it 4-0.
Postseason push. Get A's home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Gregorio Petit leading it off. He walked and stole a base in the third inning. Gregorio Petit, an original Athletic.
That's right.
Former teammate of mine, all throughout the minor leagues.
Been with several organizations, but still looks the same.
He does, and he's one of the more fluid defenders I've had the opportunity to play with.
He's going to be retired here by a fluid defender in Matt Chapman, out number 1. The last week of the A's top 50 memorable moments in Oakland. Now we want the fans to pick the most memorable moment. This week it's the World Series sweep of the Giants in '89 versus the A's winning their 3rd consecutive World Series in 1974. Fans vote through our Twitter poll, and that's what it's down to. So you got to make a tough decision. Of course, the '89 sweep with a little extra flair because you're playing your geographical rival. But 1974 was also the third of 3 consecutive World Series titles, which has been done by very, very few teams. So that's the decision the A's fans are going to have to make.
Well, the 2 teams in the history of baseball have ever won 3 consecutive, the Yankees and the Athletics. And of course, the Yankees did it 5 times. They also did it, almost did it 4 times until the Diamondbacks beat them in 2001. A series in which Juan Gonzalez, not Juan Gonzalez, but who am I thinking of?
Luis
Gonzalez. Never have to buy a drink in Boston again or dinner. Just a blue pit.
Yeah, that's the year he hit 57 home runs that year.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
57.
Maybe that's why I was thinking of Juan Gonzalez.
2-pitch. Joe Mauer with the swing and a miss. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
That's rare.
Well, tell you what, the hat trick already for Joe Mauer.
Now batting.
The fastball exploding up in the zone. This is something you just do not see very much of. Joe Mauer coming up goose eggs 3 times early on here in the ball game. I mean, just to put it in perspective, folks, they still hold a parade for the young man who struck out Joe Mauer the one and only time in high school back in their hometown. That's how rare that feat is.
I think a lot of times because he waits so long, you throw him off speed stuff, you're going to get hurt. Throw fastballs and
looks like it's by him sometimes.
Exactly right. That last one was by him, and you wait that long, and he does a good job. But for him to strike out 3 times in the first 3 at-bats of the game, mark it down, because you probably won't see it that often.
A little bit inside. 2-0 to Jorge Polanco.
And he's always been such a handsy hitter, and one of the most difficult lefties I was ever able to face in terms of trying to crowd him or run a 2-seamer in on those hands. Always was able to pull him in tight. Just a very difficult AB. You get him to 2 strikes and he's able to protect and fight and battle. Professional hitter.
Polanco with a walk and a strikeout so far tonight. Chris Bassett's doing a nice job. 3 2/3 innings.
I think the biggest thing now is Chris Bassett going through the lineup the second time. Will that be it? Because we've seen the opener pitch an inning, and then the one to follow sometimes 4 and 5 innings.
Well, this is the 6th hitter that he has faced twice.
Yeah.
And he got him swinging. Right now he's rolling along. So that's 6 strikeouts in 4 innings for Chris Bassett. 4-0 A's. fourth inning, or bottom of the fifth inning, excuse me. A's with a magic number of 4. The Rays won tonight. The Yankees won, and the Astros won. The 3 teams that we're all keeping an eye on.
Brody can relax now, right? Yeah, just take it easy, Brody.
Driven to left. Grossman circling around a little bit, but he makes the catch.
Time now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile/Hustle, because that's what the A's have done tonight. Base hit to right field. That's with Laureano hitting over to third base. And then, how about Laureano up the middle with the base hit? Piscotty hustling to third base, and right behind him in second will be Laureano. I mean, this is just great play and great hustle. As Laureano got into second base, so good hustle all night by the Athletics and taking the extra bases. And you don't have to hit a lot of home runs. Chris Davis did in the first inning, but you played that kind of aggressive baseball. You'll put guys in scoring position, many times at third, less than 2 outs. You get them in.
Shallow right center, and it's going to be Kepler who grabs it. So Chris Davis is retired after 2-run homer back in the first inning. He's now 1 for 3.
Now batting first base.
Here's Laureano. The aggression. 27.4 feet per second. 8.27 seconds it takes from home to second base for the Laser.
Two away for Matt Olson. Olson swings and misses.
Trying to hit it over one of the 4 outfielders.
I think he was.
This is the 3rd consecutive bat for Matt Olson that he's come up with 2 outs, and the outfield 4 guys, 3 to the right side and nobody to the left side. And 4 outfielders playing very deep. I mean, it's not Joey Gallo.
Now the count 1-2.
There's the 3, there the 4.
2 strikes. You see Polanco make his way over to the left side of second base, just in case.
And a hard slider, swing and a miss. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Barrios. And we are moving to the 6th inning with the A's leading 4-0.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Max Muscle Nutrition and its 30 NorCal locations. Professional health and nutrition advice available for all ages.
So 4-0, the A's lead the Twins. It is the 6th inning when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Lou Trevino comes in. Good 4 innings by Chris Bassett. Strikes out 5, gives up just 1 hit. So here's Lou Trevino. Jake Cave is the hitter. He has walked him and hit by a pitch.
I think this is a guy the Oakland A's definitely want to get back on track. Who've been outstanding for so much of the season. But as we see a lot of younger guys go, the Major League Baseball season can tax you. You get tired, some wear and tear. Catch a breather, but when Lou Trevino is right, there's no question how important he is and the impact he can have.
Well, you really have to start looking at how many players have played in the month of September have never done it before.
Yep.
And that's especially for a pitcher to shut it down and then all of a sudden you're pitching.
Mariano's not going to get this one. It bangs off the wall. Picks it up quickly, fires it back in, and Cave has a sliding double.
Smart Play of the Day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. For Chris Bassett, 67 pitches in 4 innings, did a tremendous job. Hit a batter, he walked a batter, struck out 5, gave up the double, but just a very good job that he did following Liam Hendriks, who went the 1 inning. Good live fastball, 3 strikeouts for Joe Mauer in the game, 2 by Chris Bassett. So Bob Melvin making the move, or at least the move made by the Athletics to take Chris Bassett out, turn it over to the rest of the bullpen, starting with Lou Trevino.
So here's Robbie Grossman. That's the 3rd hit in the game for the Twins. And a single in the 1st by Cave, a double by Adrianza in the 4th, and then that double by Cave here in the 6th. And that one is leaned on to right field, and the Twins are on the board. 4-2 ball game. Grossman with his 5th home run. I think he got what he was looking for.
Yep.
And he's looking for that heater. And that's what he gets, center cut from Trevino. And again, this is the big leagues. You can see Robbie Grossman out front. Strong front side he's hitting against there. And there's no doubt he's sitting dead red, looking one pitch, one spot. He got it.
So the Twins are back in the game. Sean Kelly's going to start loosening up.
Well, the one constant, actually similarity, the Caleb Coward's grand slam that we saw on Tuesday night that was given up by Lou Trevino, and this home run, ball straight as a string. And with Lou Trevino, sometimes his sinking action, even though maybe not with the velocity that we've seen, is better with the movement, because it's rare that he gives up home runs. But that's got to be a little bit concerning to him. Saw him put his hands on his knees on Wednesday or Tuesday when Coward hit the grand slam.
Well, what you don't want to happen at any point in time, and as athletes, it's one of the tougher things to do, but
and that's going to be laced into center field for a base hit by Max Kepler.
you don't want to start second guessing yourself and your ability to get the outs. There's no question what Lou Trevino is capable of when he's able to work downhill. I mean, this is not a terrible pitch in terms of height, while down below the zone, but middle. And for the lefty Kepler, just a pitch he can get to, drop the head on. And you'd like to see Lou Trevino start making his way towards the edges of the strike zone.
There's Tyler Austin. Lots of power with Austin in the first pitch. Strike on the inside corner.
Well, back at Target Field, this is what Tyler Austin did. That was a hanging cutter, and there's your oppo. And it was a no-doubter. find it. It's in the roses someplace.
And Lucroy with a heck of a play. That one was headed to the backstop.
Yeah, he caught it behind him. It was actually behind him with it. It took off. He's kind of set up inside. It's outside. He reached, and that's the ball that you're just happy to put a glove on because you can't get your body in front of it. Throwing as hard as it was.
Swing and a miss. That's better cutter right there. 91 miles an hour.
Well, and he's thrown 3 of them. That first one was a backup cutter that spun out, and they got the call. You can see there, that's the tilt he's looking for on that pitch.
Cave, Grossman, Kepler, all lefties. And still have to use all of your pitches, even though you may not feel as comfortable throwing the pitch to a lefty as you do a righty.
So 2-2 the count. Adrianza in the on-deck circle. That one is lined just off the glove of Marcus Simeon. I think he may have got a little leather on it, but not much. So that is 4 consecutive hits off Lou Trevino. So Bob Melvin is going to go get his young right-hander. So it's going to be Sean Kelly coming in as the Twins are rallying here in the 6th.
Test drive one today.
So 4-2, and things have gotten interesting here at the Coliseum in the 6th inning. A 2-run homer by Grossman, and then back-to-back singles by Kepler and Austin, and Lou Trevino is done. So Sean Kelly comes in. Adrianza with a strikeout and a double, and the first pitch is right there for a strike.
Matt Olson creeping in from first base in front of the bag and up on the grass, maybe anticipating a bunt. First pitch there was none. With all the infielders almost kind of halfway, a lot of holes for a hitter to shoot a ball through, and that's maybe why he was given the green light to swing.
Holds up on that pitch, 1-1 the count. Inherited runners, 17 out of 18 stranded for Sean Kelly.
That's a big deal. Come in, bear down, execute. Sean Kelly looking for a ground ball.
And that one is lined to right. That's a base hit. Kepler's going to score easily. Austin is going to go to third, and Adrianza to second with an RBI double, and now it's 4-3.
Hanging breaking ball. And there's no bunting necessary with that ball just floating in to the left-hander and able to hook it down the line, looking for the ground ball, but over the head of Olsen, and for Piscotty to get the ball back in to keep runners from scoring. And now they're going to hold on to see if Kelly's all right, I guess. Brian Showman going out with the skipper.
So with that, Buchter starts to throw. Kelly's going to stay in, so whatever the A's may have seen, he seems to be okay. So the Twins with 5 consecutive hits, double homer, single, single, double. And the hitter is Williams Estadio. Estadio has grounded to short, and he has grounded to third. Olsen in on the edge of the grass.
You see, he'll shake his shoulder out just a touch here. Nothing major, but that'll catch the attention of a trainer and the skipper every time.
A high fastball and a swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2.
Throwing 91. So yeah, it's really bothering me.
Kelly in need of a strikeout. Gregorio Petit is the on-deck hitter.
But the slider that it threw that Adrianza hit is not the one that we've been accustomed to seeing it thrown, and that was a fastball, kind of a quick pitch. That was out of the strike zone. This young man is aggressive. He does not see a lot of pitches.
That one down and in.
As Paul Molitor decides to pinch hit for Petit, he'd have a couple of riders, then Maurer at the top of the order. That's probably why Buchter's getting loose.
Two-two pitch. Loop to right. Piscotty hustling in, and he makes a nice running catch. Fires it home. Austin stays at third, and a nice play by the A's right fielder.
Talk about momentum heading towards the plate. That one looks like it was going to be a dangerous result, but Piscotty with his hustle, tremendous outfielder as he got the great jump, direct line to the ball, catches it, and then a perfect throw to Jonathan Lucroy.
And a lot of times you'll see guys with that momentum try to open up, and that throw can end up sailing on him heading up that third base line. Piscotty does a good job of keeping himself closed off when he lets go of this ball on a direct line to Luke, who's able to swallow it up.
So here's Gregorio Petit, and he goes after the first pitch and rolls it foul. Petit, a walk, stolen base, and then he grounded to third. Big heads hanging out up there. Haven't seen them up there this year. Nice block by Luke. Outfield is shallow. Laureano's in a little bit closer than he usually is in center, and you see Piscotty in right. 3 or 4 steps closer.
Oh, Petit, not a guy with a ton of pop. He'll make you pay, you make a mistake, but you got the heavy air of the East Bay. Some good arms out there.
1-1 pitch, and he waves at a pitch that was way out of the strike zone.
Well, that's a sharp slider, much better than one that he hung to Adrianza. And this is what you want to see, righty on righty, hard chase slider, something that Petit think it is a strike. It was not. In great location. Look at the strike 3.
Maybe.
Caught it and tagged Petit just in case. Never know. Maybe you could sell it to the umpire.
More action for Piscotty. And he's going to make the catch on this one. And the runner's going to have to hold again.
You know, I thought if he's ever going to run, that would have been it with 1 out, but he would have been out by plenty. But Piscotty, again, a great jump. This one into foul territory. But watch how he does stop and settles himself, squares himself, and there's a strong throw again. 1 hop up the line. Austin had been out by 20 or 30 feet if that had happened. Joe Mauer being intentionally walked.
Mauer has received an intentional
You see at the very end, turn the hips, line himself up. Fundamentally sound, per usual, from Stephen Piscotty.
So now the bases are loaded. 2 outs for Jorge Polanco. He's the 9th man to hit in this inning. Polanco has walked and struck out twice. First pitch is in there, first strike with a fastball. Polanco just 6 home runs. For the A's defense, but they're trying to get out of here with the lead.
Well, the respect the A's have for Joe Mauer, especially with runners in score position, I want to give him a chance with the bat in his hand.
Another pretty good take by Polanco, so he gets ahead in the count, 2-1.
And the first pitch fastball he took for a strike puts him now back in the position he can look for the same fastball, maybe with 2-1 count after taking a couple of sliders. Maybe have a different approach on the 2-1 fastball if he gets it.
Hit hard but foul, and now the count is even. So Kelly trying to get out of it. Austin at third, Adrianza at second, Mauer at first. Towards center, Laureano going back, and it's over his head. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, 3 runs are going to score. Polanco's going to be caught in a rundown, and he will be tagged out between second and third. But it's a 3-run double, and it's a 6-run inning for the Twins. And just like that, the Twins have the lead. So, bottom of the 6th coming up. It's now the Twins 6 and the A's 4. spot on the A's, so now the A's are going to have to come back. They have time to do it. It'll be Piscotty, Laureano, and Simeon, and Barrios has a lead. Piscotty shows a little bunt and the pitch a little bit low, not by much. .31 out of 40 in shutdown inning opportunities, so pretty good number there. Rios has really not been sharp tonight. He does have 6 strikeouts. And that one misses inside.
Piscotty doing exactly what you should do when you're trailing and making throw a strike, although he's quick pitching him and almost the point to Piscotty. It was hit last time, scored a run. This time barely gets the box, and Rios is throwing again, 4 consecutive out of the strike zone.
So a good start for the A's.
Now batting center fielder, 22, Ramon.
Take a look here.
Laureano.
It's out. It's in, I mean.
Yeah, he just kept running. He threw it. He couldn't throw a 4-seamer, and
See Piscotty asking him what's going on here. Barrios throws his hands up, not really pleased. Lance Barrett gonna let him know. It's in, bud.
it wasn't. It just ran. It's almost like he tried to guide the ball and it just kept running in. That's that mild manner, Piscotty.
Swing and a miss, and now the count 0-2 to Laureano. Laureano's had a good ball game, 2 singles, a run scored, good base running. Sharp breaking ball, just a touch low.
And if the A's can continue to spit on pitches like this and force Barrios up, force him in the zone, this is where they can start to take advantage before they put an end to his night.
High fly ball fouled on the right field line. He's at 95 pitches now, 5+ innings.
95 pitches, and should Laureano reach base, you can all but guarantee that'll close the book on Barrios. I'm trying to do some damage before that happens.
Good pitch there, spoiled by Laureano, so it's a nice job of hitting by Laureano. Gabriel Moya. I believe his nickname was Little Gordado.
That's right.
It was Players Weekend when we were in Minnesota.
And it wasn't Eddie who gave it to him.
Nope. Simeon to follow here in the bottom of the 6th. He warmed up on that mound a few times. Hard sinker, 2-2.
Just wonder if a manager ever asked Eddie Guardado, how do you feel today? I mean, his nickname was Every Day, so I don't think there was any reason to ask him.
That's actually something, Foss, with Eddie Guardado being a Stockton, California native,
right.
An individual I looked up to as a child, had the opportunity to speak to many a times throughout my career. And he told me very early on, no matter you find yourself in the rotation, in the bullpen, you're left-handed, you can go.
And that slider is in for a strike. So Laureano strikes out. 7 strikeouts for Barrios. So 1 away. Hey, Sunday, Greg Pop and Dante Whitner join Jeff Garcia on 49ers pre- and post-game live. 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Chiefs. This weekend, NBC Sports Bay Area, the home of the authentic 49ers fan, is NBC Sports Bay Area. First pitch to Marcus Simeon. Called the strike on the inside corner.
Well, whoever called the slider to Laureano, give him credit, is Booker once again loosens.
likes throwing his breaking ball. Yep. Showed you that, which is with his pitch usage. Yep. And he's got a good one. Now at 101 pitches.
And with 2 strikes, that curveball is coming in about 43% of the time.
But with a fastball that time, 95 miles an hour, just a little elevated.
Well, and that's in an effort to either get the fish to bite, in which he did. He got Simeon to chase up. Now you can go a couple different ways. You go higher than high, run it back up there, or you drop that curveball down in the dirt.
And there's the slider, and a good take by Marcus Simeon.
A lot of times, if you have a hitter 2 strikes and you go soft, if he's a smart hitter, Simeon seems to be the one that's not opposed to go to the opposite field with a breaking ball. Sometimes you try to challenge him with a fastball and then go hard with a slider, which he did, but Simeon would not go after it. And that's what the A's have been very successful all season, not chasing pitchers' pitches.
Strike 3 called with a high fastball. So that is 8 strikeouts for Barrios.
Well, go back to that back whip action. They're looking to paint this thing away. Studio wants it up, but this is up, middle, probably up and out of the zone. And Marcus Simeon not too happy about it, rightfully so.
Well, I don't know that Matt Joyce, under normal circumstances, it would not be pinch hitting. They're going to take out Barrios and bring in the hard throwing lefty, but Matt Joyce pinch hitting for Jonathan Lucroy, and that's the 3rd catcher ability that the A's have to do that.
So 6-4 Twins lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
You by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
So 6-4, bottom of the 6th. The A's got a runner at first and 2 outs. With Matt Joyce being announced, the Twins brought in Gabriel Moya. So Barrios letting Stephen Piscotty know that, hey, my bad.
And I think that's just in communication with the quick pitch in, and Piscotty had taken exception to it. That's an example of the game taking care of itself, folks.
So here is Moya, 3-1, 4.59 ERA. He's facing Canna. So Canna technically is pinch hitting for Joyce. Joyce was pinch hitting for Lucro. And I guess it's not out of the question that this may have been the matchup that Bob Melvin wanted all along.
Yeah, he will do that at times, and that's a couple of times that Matt Joyce has been sent up almost as a decoy and get the starter out, bring the lefty in, and Mark Canha, who has had a lot of success against left-handed pitchers with 12 home runs.
Canha rolls that one foul off the tarp. Canha righty lefties hitting .275 against lefties, .227 against righties, and those home runs that Ray was talking about. Right-hander Trevor May is loosening up. Pitch down and in. Herky jerky delivery by Gabriel Moya.
There's a lot going on in that initial setup as well. He does. He's got elbows and kneecaps coming at you. A little arm waggle all like Kimbrel.
Well, the Twins have used the opening pitcher some this year, and actually they've used Moya 4 times doing that.
That one left outside, and I have to figure he's going to come back to the slider that he likes to throw a lot. Fastball is not really overpowering. Needs to spot his fastball. Slider is his put-away pitch. Maybe he could put it away in the seats.
2 pitches belted left field, and that baby's gone. And just like that, we're tied at 6.
Did put it to seats, and number 13 against lefties, and Mark Canha, another demonstrative going around the bases, wanted to somebody down the left field line, but when he cleared the bases and then scored, almost hit a big head. That would have been a better, but Mark Canha, 17th home run of the season, give him now 13 against lefties and 4 against the righties, and a big one to tie a game after the walk to Piscotty to lead off the inning.
All right, so we got a pitching change. We're tied at 6. Canha with a pinch hit 2-run homer has tied the game. So many big home runs this year by the Athletics. Actually, Canha's hit quite a few. Trevor May is the new pitcher for the Twins. He's the 3rd pitcher in this inning. Nick Martini will not be the hitter. It's Chad Pinder, and a breaking ball spins up and in. And the Twins bullpen allowed 88 home runs, most in the majors, and a big one tonight. Pinder with a big swing, pops it up. First throw of the dugout. So 1-1 the count to Pinder.
Yesterday with the back-to-back, Pinder following. This was against Arcia, just as Martina did this one down the left field line. The first pitcher, Arcia, to be a catcher, a pitcher, and hit a home run.
In the same game.
Same game.
I don't know if that is that impressive. I don't know.
Well, he said he was throwing BP fastball, and I don't know, maybe some batting practice pitchers throw harder than what he was throwing yesterday. But he was considerably under the hitting speed, which Dallas said you probably attest the fact that as a pitcher, Gaylord always told me, he says you want to throw above or below, never the same as everybody else.
That is exactly right. You're either going to beat him to a spot or you catch him out in front of it.
Yep.
3-1 pitch, a big swing by Pinder. Now it's 3-2.
Usually when a position player goes into pitch, and evidently holding off some of the relievers yesterday for Mike Scioscia didn't help in Houston tonight, which was the reason Arcia pitched the last 2 innings in a 21-run game.
Pinder lines it right at Grossman, who backs up to make the catch. So good inning for the A's. They come right back and tie it thanks to Mark Canha's 2-run homer. There it is. So 7th inning coming up. It's 6-6. Finish. Let's go back to April 21st of this year. What a night. Sean Manaea throws the 12th no-hitter in A's history. It happens against the Red Sox right here at the Coliseum. 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, 108 pitches, and it was quite a night. Sean Manaea, unfortunately, now on the disabled list after shoulder surgery, but you can't take away the no-hitter. That's the giveaway tonight, the bobblehead. Sean Manaea, bobblehead. Does it look like him?
Yes, he does. Tattooed on the right arm.
Not bad.
He was happy with the
put a little band-aid on his arm, maybe right there.
Another tattoo. He was very happy about that. So the artist who did the bobblehead, very nicely done. And a crowd on hand tonight, appreciative of that giveaway because they've been out tonight in big fashion.
So Buchter is the new pitcher here in the 7th inning, facing Cave, Grossman, and Kepler. So quite a 6th inning. Twins score 6, A's score 2. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Buchter 4-0, 3.12 ERA. Right at the center fielder Laureano, who grabs it. So some more notes from April 21st. 3 batters reached on him, 2 walks and an error. 3rd pitcher to no-hit the Red Sox with 10 or more strikeouts. A couple of Hall of Famers on that list. First native of Indiana to toss a no-hitter since Don Larson did it in the 1956 World Series. Still the only World Series no-hitter.
Perfect game. 56.
One of the great baseball videos of all time. Yogi Berra jumping into Don Larson's arms after the perfect game. So Canna stays in the game in left, and Fegley is the catcher.
Well, you have to consider what Bob Melvin did in the one spot as Familia gets loose to follow Buchter, but that first 5 months, that move in the bottom of the 6th inning probably would never have taken place. Jonathan Lucroy would not have been removed for a pinch hitter. Matt Joyce would not have been sent up as a decoy, or at least to bring up Mark Canna to face the lefty, and a September baseball. And Mark Canna had to be the one to hit the 2-run home run.
Well, I think it's moves like that that put Bob Melvin squarely, in our opinion, at least, atop of the conversation for Manager of the Year.
Piscotty grabs it, and that's the second out here in the top of the 7th inning. Well, I guess they say managers, you need to think 2-3 innings ahead, and
Number 26.
who knows how many batters ahead. Probably a whole lineup ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
But you get the feeling the good managers, like Bob Melvin, they could see that move coming. Who knows? Maybe when the inning started, they said, Barrios.
Yeah.
Barrios, he's kind of been struggling the whole game. Or how about this? Walks Piscotty to lead off the inning.
4 pitches. Yeah, quick pitch. Try to hurry, and
sees the lefty warming up out there.
then he strikes out back-to-back batters.
Lowry backs it down, picks it up, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Nicely done by Buchter. 7th inning stretch time coming up. 6-6 game.
Maybe you've seen them, are 50 life-size stopper statues throughout Oakland designed by local artists. Well, now is your time to own one. That's right, they are for sale, and we will transport them for free to their new homes. Pick out the statue that works for you or your group. Proceeds benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund. Take a look and pick out your stopper at athletics.com/SITT. That's athletics.com/SITT. I want that one to your house in your front yard. That one with the...
Yeah, let me run that by the boss. Yeah. See how that would go over.
You know what? I bet those go fast. I bet 50 are gone in a heartbeat. You know?
Absolutely.
Dear, I've got an elephant.
Yeah.
It's Halloween coming up. Come on, man. You know.
2-0 to Matt Chapman. Chapman, Lowry, and Davis against Trevor May. Matt Chapman has struck out and grounded out twice, once to short and once to third. Right on the outside corner. And that one runs inside, and they could have been called a strike, but called the ball. So the lefty Taylor Rogers throwing.
It's just a rare backcountry fastball and let it go.
Pitch is hit high and deep down the right field line into the corner. Kepler is going to have enough room. He's a step or two into foul territory, and he makes the catch.
So we're talking about with Matt Chapman, his ability to go to the outside field, pretty good fastball, but did not drive it enough to get it past the right fielder Kepler.
So here's Lowry with one out. Astros won their game tonight 11-3 at home over the Angels. Garrett Cole beat Andrew Haney. Mike Trout hit another home run, but it was a losing effort. So right now the Astros have a 4-game lead over the A's, and the Astros have a magic number of 6 to win the West. Yankees beat the Orioles 10-8. CC Sabathia got his 8th win. Career win number 245 for CC. Grossman hustling over, and he's not going to quite get there.
Well, there was talk that 300-game winners are almost extinct now, but the one who might at least have an opportunity would be CC Sabathia, but he probably will not stay around long enough. Needing 55 more to get to the magic 300. It used to be a lock at 300 wins to the Hall of Fame. Used to be a lock 400 home runs, then 500 home runs, and now that's in question. But they may lower the standards for winning pitchers as far as the total wins for the Cooperstown.
Yankees got home runs from Hicks and Gregorius. Yankees now have 249 home runs this year. A's are second with 211. Up high, 2-2 the count.
Well, the A's extended their working relationship with Beloit.
Yes.
Beloit hit to Beloit.
Well, that's what yeah, John Sterling said. I heard guys in the radio today going, "Where's Beloit?" And then they made a really good point. They said, "Why not say to Detroit? At least you know where Detroit is." Beloit is in Wisconsin.
That's right.
Southeastern Wisconsin, I might add. So 2 outs.
Jed Lowry just coming up empty here on the changeup. Good depth in the zone. Pitch Jed Lowry would love to have back.
First pitch to Chris Davis is a strike in the outside corner.
Well, the first inning against Morelos after walk to Jed Lowry with 2 outs, and Chris Davis got the fans excited with his 44th home run to right center. On the fastball, the salute, the beautiful uniforms worn on Friday nights. Trying to get a victory.
So 44 home runs, 118 RBIs for Chris Davis, career highs.
I think the outfield defensive alignment says a lot about what the Twins think of Chris Davis and his opposite field power. It's Grossman is in left center and left field. And the center fielder McCabe is in right center. They're really pushing the outfield towards right field.
Hit hard, but foul. 42 of Chris Davis's 44 home runs this year have come with him as the designated hitter. So that is the 3rd most home runs by a designated hitter in a season in Major League Baseball history. Of course, the DH came in 1973.
Ron Bloomberg. First DH. Will always go down in history as the first DH.
Three and 2 to KD. And he got under that one and pops it up shallow left. That's Gregorio Petit. So Trevor May has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're moving to the 8th, tied at 6.
Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Top of the 8th inning, 6-6 is your score. Be careful with that Sean Manaea bobblehead. So when it's time for change, take Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Terry's Familia takes over here for the A's in the 8th inning. 6th pitcher of the ball game for the Athletics. facing Tyler Austin.
I think it's safe to say Familia is another guy that the Oakland A's would love to see iron the kinks out. Someone they brought over they knew that could help this bullpen.
Yeah, I would say that when the A's get themselves into the postseason, they will rely heavily on the bullpen. So you need them all to be rolling.
And a whole bunch of those guys won't be in the bullpen, and they can change the roster with each series as they advance.
And a good pitch there, 96 miles an hour. Austin is retired.
That's what we're talking about right there. Good downer action, good velocity, late life. Just swinging over the top. Tyler Austin, no shot.
Well, the second strike, a kind of a backup slider caught the inside corner, and then a good heater to put him away.
Here's Adrianza. He's had a good ball game. 2 doubles, a run scored, and an RBI. Broken bat. Familia grabs it. An underhand to first, 2 away.
Hey, Kevin, congratulations to Don Wakamatsu, who took over as interim manager for the Texas Rangers. The unfortunate dismissal of Jeff Bannister, their manager, but the Rangers tonight under Don Wakamatsu. Jeff Bannister was relieved of his duties after 4 seasons, or in his 4th. Tough year, actually, back-to-back seasons is very tough for the manager of the Texas Rangers and the Rangers in general. 15 American League Manager of the Year, but Don Wakamatsu took over, and we wish him best. He had 1 year in Seattle as their manager, been the bench coach, and now took over, and they won 8-3 tonight in a suspended game.
Yeah, the Rangers last year 78 and 84, and this year they did win tonight, but 65 and 88.
Blake Trinan, who came back yesterday after going to Walla Walla, Washington for his birth of his 2nd child. So he is back and ready to go. So a lot of things happening for the Athletics, and the bullpen, to your point, probably will be heavily used.
Williams Estudillo hits for the 4th time.
I think in an era of a lot of 1-inning relief pitchers, the A's have pitchers in the bullpen who control multiple innings.
That's going to be a base hit in the left field. Estudillo kind of reached for that one.
And a good strikeout, a good ground ball back to him, and then kind of a slider, not a bad swing by Estudillo, who is a very aggressive hitter, and a slider that was down and away. He's still able to pull the ball. When you're aggressive, some good things can happen. It definitely happened for him.
So that is hit number 9 for the Twins. They've out-hit the A's 9-5. And a couple of big 2-run homers by the Athletics. Petit swings and misses.
And that's that late life you're looking for out of Familia. Seems to be able to repeat the release point.
You can almost use the fastball as the put-away pitch and the slider as a waste pitch.
Yep.
Throw it hard away from the hitter. You know, so hard, especially with the runner on, that it can advance it.
Swings over top, 96 miles an hour as a sinker.
And why would you throw a slider for a strike if you can do that with a heater? But that is backing up a first pitch strike. Comes back again with a movement down and in out of the strike zone. Swinging over to his Petit and throw him the slider. Make sure he tries to chase it, not even get it close to hit. Otherwise, just go after it.
To the count to Petit.
Shook off the slider to go to the sinking fastball.
96 miles an hour. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Familia. Olson to lead it off when we come back. All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. 6-9-1 for the Twins, 6-5-0 for the Athletics. So the A's led 4-0, went down 6-4, quickly tied it at 6. So that is where we are at, heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. Chris Davis with a home run early, and then Mark Davis with a pinch hit 2-run homer, and that was in the 6th inning. So Matt Olson will lead it off. The new pitcher is a lefty by the name of Taylor Rogers. 2.80, 72 strikeouts in 64 innings. And he's a workhorse. This is his 69th appearance. And the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 22 consecutive innings without a run allowed.
That's time, man.
That's pretty good.
That is good. It's actually the longest streak by a Twins pitcher since Joe Nathan. Back in '09, put together a run of 22 2/3 with a goose eggs.
Jersey Joe Nathan.
That's right. You know it.
So 0-2 to Matt Olson, who has grounded out and struck out twice. Piscotty to follow, and then Laureano here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lays off that slider.
He had a couple of appearances back in Minneapolis this year, and a total of 2 innings, just a hit, a walk. So did well against the A's in those 2 games.
And that would hook down the right field line, but it's foul.
Well, anytime you throw the slow breaking ball to a left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, you're really inviting trouble, looking for trouble. Throw it harder, it's a little bit different story. Against the lefty, Pat, just 3 outfielders.
Good call.
3 infielders to the right, but only 3 outfielders.
Just a little bit high with a fastball. So that probably means he hits more ground balls against lefties than against righties. That would be a logical guess. So full count. Hit hard, but just foul. Now or go for it. Couldn't have been fouled by a lot.
Well, Bob Melvin out, and he's trying to ask. You know, he had a similar situation yesterday. Ball down the left field line. Bob Melvin had to go out and question it. I think that's over the bag, folks. This at that angle we looked at. Not where it lands. It's where it crosses the bag. And to get where it did, I don't know. That's one angle showed that Matt Olson had to be thinking about it. Same thing. As Bill Wilkie said to the home plate umpire, Lance Barrett, he said, I had it foul. See, there it is. I mean,
you know what, Ray?
It hit the bag. It hit the bag.
And I think it hit the bag and it shot a little bit to the right.
Yes, it did.
Right? I mean,
that's why Maurer missed it.
Yeah.
Wow. And they talk about missing something. But you know, when an umpire has to jump and all that, I mean, and see, the bad part about that is that neither the first base umpire, the home plate umpire could see that. And for Bill Wilkie not to see why it changed direction, he's looking at it over the bag. How about hitting the bag?
Yeah, it did change direction just a little bit.
That's a double.
That is a definite double.
Yeah, and that's huge.
So the count remains 3-2 to Matt Olson. And he walked in. So good start, bottom of the 8th. A's have the leadoff man aboard.
See, I think that's why there are times that Matt Olson, I think of a couple of times he's not started against a lefty. A lefty on a lefty is totally different than a lefty on a righty. And Dallas, you as a left-handed pitcher, if you saw mostly righties, then all of a sudden you see a lefty, I would think it has to change your thought process of how you're going to get him out.
Well, yeah, lefty on lefty, you know, especially if you're a left on left guy, good chance you're going to come in there spinning that breaking ball. But from there, you got to start reading swings that the lefty takes off of you. And Matt Olson, a couple good passes there. And really a quality AB to be able to spit on that last pitch.
I just told Joe Mauer that ball hit the bag, Joe. You know that, don't you? And Mauer probably said, you're right.
Scotty now behind in the count 0-2. Trinan's been down there for a while, so he's ready. He's going to pitch the top of the 9th, no matter what the score is. Unless the A's could score a whole bunch here at the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So on 3 pitches, Piscotty strikes out.
We can see this is the slider. 83. We talked about that back foot location. This here just works its way through the bottom part of the zone. The key here is this is middle in, so it looks presentable to Piscotty. And as the bottom falls out, Scotty just comes up empty.
So up steps Ramon Laureano. And he lines one to second. It's going to be a double play. So that's how the bottom of the 8th ends. We're headed to the 9th. Still tied at 6. This tomorrow, game 2 of this series. Mike fires against Chase DeYoung. Coverage begins at 5:30 with A's pregame live. You can also stream the A's on the go with NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app. So another night game tomorrow night. Day game on Sunday, and that wraps up the regular season home schedule. 6 games left on the road. Blake Trinan facing the top of the Twins order. Joe Mauer, 3 strikeouts and a walk and a run scored for Mauer. Seven wins, 37 saves, an ERA of 0.85 for Blake Trinan. You won't find a closer in all of baseball that has better numbers with Blake Trinan. Joe Mauer has struck out 4 times once in a game. That was back in 2009. And he's behind in the count 0-2.
Well, in a season that's been one that sees things you've never seen before, well, how about a high fastball up and away? See if he goes after this one.
He bounces it toward Olsen, who makes a nice diving play. Throw to Trinan, got him. So a nice play.
Not guarding the line. He's going to his right. And not only does it make a great play, but look at the lead throw to Trinan, who's at the bag. I mean, a spectacular play to catch the ball, the 360 to come up throwing, knowing that his first baseman or his pitcher is at the first base bag. Leads him perfectly. And Matt Olson, what a play to save a base hit. Joe Mauer. And also for Blake Trinan being alert to get over to the bag quickly enough for Olson to make the perfect throw.
First pitch to Jorge Polanco, and it's a little bit low, I guess. Polanco with a big hit in this game, a bases clearing double with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And that gave the Twins the 6-4 lead. The A's tied it on Canna's home run. 1-0 pitch is bounced toward Olsen. Nice big hop. That's the second out.
You make a play that Ole did in the previous play. That's a piece of cake on this one.
Yep.
Well, it just makes things look so easy. You know, the diving play, he catches behind him, allowing himself to go into that spin, pop up, make the throw over to BT. And there, just a ho-hum, almost irritated you'd hit it to him and expect him not to catch it.
So Trevor Hildenberger starts to throw for the Twins. And the first pitch to Jake Cave is a swing and a miss. The A's in the bottom of the 9th will have Simeon, Canna, and Fegley. Nasty pitch. Slider. Snaps right in there. Well, watch this pitch.
Well, this thing has some depth on it as well. For a strike, down and in. I mean, that's a pitch that you wipe guys out on. And he's painting it on the black for a strike. Good luck.
They threw it again, and Cave just got a piece of it.
In Minnesota, when he had not pitched that much, and Kepler hit the home run off Trinan, just a slider didn't break, but he hadn't thrown in about a week. No, not the same form right now, but the intensity level is a little bit different what it was in Minneapolis on that opening game in which the A's lost. He just got some work in.
Got it. Slider in the dirt, and we are headed to the bottom of the 9th. A's trying to walk it off and get that magic number down to 3.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, bottom of the ninth. Nice crowd tonight, 27,558. They've really been into it right from the start. Chris Davis homered in the very first inning, and now they're thinking about a walk-off. First pitch to Marcus Semien is a strike. Semien, Canna, Fegley, if anybody gets on Chapman. Taylor Rogers walked the leadoff man in the 8th inning, but then he got a double play to end the inning. So he's back out there for his 2nd inning of work. He's the 4th pitcher of the night for the Twins. Semien left field, but not enough. Grossman backs up just a little bit.
Time now for the Chrysler drive of the game. Mark Canna against the left-hander Moya with a 2-2 slider and a home run, and that's why we're playing the bottom of the 9th inning. He's trying to win it as the big hit's ready to come, and Mark Canna pointing to somebody down the left field line, but a big 2-run pinch hit home run, number 17, season high. And they're going to talk about it because Josh Steele said, hey, it was a lefty, hit a home run off a lefty. Let's go. Let's go. So let's go. Paul Molitor saying maybe not.
Nope. Matt McGill, the right-hander, is coming in. So McGill coming in. Rogers faces 4 hitters. He's done for the night. And we'll be back tied at 6. Try to get something going against Matt McGill. Comes in with 1 out. Ray, the A's faced McGill back in Minnesota, and they hit him pretty well.
How about 1 inning, 3 home runs?
That's pretty well.
That would be Piscotty, Chapman, and Lowry. None of whom are going to be hitting in this inning unless somebody gets on. That would be Chapman. But McGill, who is making his 2nd appearance or 3rd against the A's this year. The first one on the 23rd, he did quite well, but not the case on the 26th, the game that Rios pitched. So maybe can Mark Canna, who tied it, can he win it?
Canna's home run in the 6th inning, 17th of the year. A little bit low, 2-0.
I'm going to show you what kind of threat Mark Canna represents. Taylor Rogers on a nice little roll. Paul Molitor still wants no part of that left on right matchup. Mark Canna and the lefty will take a shot with the big righty McGill.
2-0 pitch stays inside, and now it's 3-0.
But in the world of matchups, we see it all too often, where a lefty who has given up nothing comes out of a game and they go righty on righty. There's a steady diet of right-handers coming up. Top it off. How about a green light 3-0 and
not close. So the A's have the winning run aboard with 1 out. That's 5 walks issued by Twins pitchers tonight. Here comes Fegley.
Now batting, catcher, number 19, Josh Fegley.
well, he hit in the spot where Pinder was. Pinder pinch hit from Martini, and it was Joyce and Canna pinch hitting for Lucroy. So Josh Fegley gets a chance with his first at bat tonight.
Fegley takes a strike. So first at bat for Josh Fegley tonight. On deck is Matt Chapman. Pretty good lead at first by Canna. And it's a quick 0-2 to Fegley.
We talked about a pitcher from Indiana pitching the no-hitter. How about a catcher from Indiana hitting a walk-off? And that's what Josh Fegley from Indiana. Not playing that much. Yesterday he did. Day game after night game against the Angels and came up with 3 hits.
Reaches for that one. Stays alive.
If you can see how cold it is down the dugout, man. There are guys, even position players who are in the game, are putting jackets on once they get back in the game. You cold, Dallas?
Oh, it's just starting to heat up down here, boys.
Where's your umbrella?
0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Inside corner. Fegley can't believe it.
Backed up, or didn't even come. Yeah, talk about coming around a little bit. I was feeling way outside the pitch on the inner part of the plate, enough that Lance Barrett called it strike. Fegley didn't believe it.
So that is the second out, and here's Chapman. Blocked by Estudillo. Nicely done.
Well, second of the game for Matt Chapman against McGill. That was the game on the 26th. Fastball, and he did not miss it. Hit the curveball off Barrios. This one in the bullpen of the Athletics. 1 of 3 that Goose gave up. Players weekend. So Chappie got Goose.
Strike on the inside corner. That didn't look like it was a strike.
Getting some love here, especially on those breaking balls, gloves, or excuse me, arm side. Getting a little more credit than maybe he deserves.
So he goes with a fastball that misses. A's have received 5 walks and they have struck out 11 times.
2 of those walks have scored, plus a hit batter on their 6 runs.
Hit high under the glove of Petit. Goes into left center field. Canna hustling to third, and Canna's going to make it there easily. Chapman to second, and now the A's got the winning run 90 feet away.
Well, it's about patience. And he finally gets a slider that he feels like he can handle. This one, a little bit better pitched than the two that were called strikes up in the zone. And Gregorio Petit ranging to his right. Just gets eaten up by this hard-hit ground ball from Matt Chapman. And Mark Canha doing a great job of getting over to third base.
And this is a matter right now, Kai Pendalis, you pick your poison. You want Jed Lowry, who's sitting on 94 ribbies, or do you want to potentially walk him to get to Chris Davis, who's already hit a home run, and he's got 118. So Marvin Alston talking to everybody on the infield, pitcher, catcher, and remember the first pitch to Matt Chapman that he bounced, and Astudillo made a nice stop to keep it in front of him. Otherwise, if that ball had gotten to second base, the A's then would have walked it off with that hit. But that wild pitch, maybe he'll hang one to try to keep the ball up. There, the list right there with J.D. Martinez at 124, Trace Davis, and on and on and on. A whole bunch of good guys there. Good when it comes to driving in runs.
Well, something to think about right now. The Minnesota Twins are not going to put Jed Lowry on first base. You have to anticipate a ball in dirt, trying to get Jed Lowry to fish.
First pitch is looped down the left field line. Grossman coming in, and he's going to make the catch. So extra innings coming up from the Coliseum. We're tied at 6. Brought to you by AT&T. AT&T is your official sponsor for extra innings, and that is where we are at the Coliseum tonight. A's and the Twins, the first of 3, tied at 6.
This is what makes Blake Trinan so valuable to this club, the fact that he can go multiple innings as a closer. Through 9 pitches to 3 batters in the top of the 9th inning. We'll try to do the same thing in the 10th. Hey, Grossman playing a shallow left field. Otherwise, Jed Lowry could have looped the ball in for the game winner, but that's the defensive play by a pretty good outfield.
Mariano went back. Now he's got to hustle in, and he makes the catch, goes into a slide. He broke back about 2 or 3 steps, so he really had to come in quickly.
Well, that's it. Off the bat, probably looked a little different. As you can see, this thing's starting to sink and tail. He's got the makeup speed.
You know, the one thing he does, you can see in the top of the screen, he kind of goes laterally until he can figure out where the ball is, and then uses his speed to catch up. And you hope he can do it. Unfortunately, to Polanco, the ball over his head, he could not race back quickly enough to catch it.
So that is out number 1. Here's Max Kepler. Kepler takes a strike. Duffy, the right-hander, Vasquez, the left-hander. And a quick 0-2. But Trinan, even though his second inning of work, only 12 pitches.
Well, that's what allows him to go back out there for multiple outs at a time. This, I believe, his 18th or 19th 4-out plus outing on the season, which makes him a very, very precious and rare commodity for Bob Melvin.
He wants a high fastball. It's hit on the ground to Lowry, and that's out number 2. Well, since Buchter came in the 7th inning, Buchter, Familia, and now Trinan, just one base runner.
Now batting, 31, roster.
11 out of 12 retired. So here's Tyler Austin. And that one could have been called a strike. It was not. Austin tonight is 1 for 4. He singled in the 6th and scored. He's got good power, 16 home runs.
Typically, you pitch him away thinking that because he is a power hitter, but as we have shown and as we saw in Minneapolis, he has center field and opposite field power, which makes him a very good hitter.
Man, that one not close. 3-0. Adrianza would be next, but trying to come back here from the 3-0 count. And Austin was swinging.
Yeah,
why not?
Not surprised. I had a pretty good idea that Blake Trinan knew as well, and that's why he got a little bit extra on the fastball.
Chris Davis will lead things off in the bottom of the 10th. That's always good news. The pitch is grounded toward the middle. Simeon's there. And Blake Trinan faces 6 hitters, retires them all. We're headed to the bottom of the 10th. The big fella, Chris Davis, owner of 44 home runs, will lead things off. A's and the Twins tied at 6. It'll be lots of power coming up. Davis 44 homers, Olsen 27, Piscotty 26. See if somebody can get a hold of one. Facing Matt McGill.
I like our odds right here.
First pitch is a slider outside. Chris Davis homered in the first, and then he struck out. Hit a fly ball to right, and he popped out. He went around on the same pitch. 1-1 the count. It's just the lefty Vasquez that's throwing. Chris Davis, right center. Did he get enough? And that baby's gone. Chris Davis walks it off for the A's. They creep a little bit closer to postseason. So a 2-homer game for Chris Davis. The second one wins it for the Athletics. In the bottom of the 10th inning, you just sort of had a feeling that Chris Davis would be a hero tonight. He was early, and he ends up winning it walk-off home run. 45th home run of the year, Ray.
And Cap, you think about sliders away, back-to-back sliders. He swung at one. You stay away from him. You think you're going to sneak a fastball by him? Forget it. Especially if you stay away. And we talked about you tip your hat to somebody that can go opposite field with a home run. Well, tip your hat to Chris Davis. He did it twice tonight, just to the left of the 388. And the bench, of course, extremely happy. They saw a 4-0 lead disappear. They saw Mark Canha tie it. And Chris Davis with a walk-off to win it, and a little jump shot again by Chris Davis. Do anything you want to, big boy, because you got 45. It's right center, though, not to straightaways.
So 3 home runs for the A's tonight, all big ones. Chris Davis is the hero. Wow, unbelievable. 45 home runs, 119 RBIs. That is something special, and we've said it all year. These aren't just meaningless home runs.
Right.
He's hit a bunch late, and none bigger than the one tonight.
I've had people ask me, why do you even pitch Chris Davis? Well, you think you can get him out. That pitch is up and away. I mean, you think you can, yeah, you can pitch him that way, but he has tremendous power to the opposite field. Nobody I've ever seen that kind of power to the opposite field that Chris Davis has shown consistently throughout his career with the Athletics.
So, Ray, the A's magic number sits at 3, so the earliest that they could clinch a postseason berth would be Sunday right here at the Coliseum. So that is a possibility.
Well, that requires some help from the Toronto Blue Jays, where the Rays are playing, but also from the Athletics to winning. But they win a game like tonight. And I think this just shows, as Dallas talked about with Bob Melvin, to be able to use the pinch hitters as he did with Mark Canha against a tough lefty. He hits the home run, and then, of course, Chris Davis does the same thing.
All right, Dallas Braden is standing by with tonight's hero, one Mr. Chris Davis. Dallas.
All right, I'm with our man, Chris Davis. KD, let's just take a little moment and listen to the fan base here. They're chanting 3 letters, my friend, and I want you to soak every bit of this up. Well, you were doing work early in the ball game, my friend. You go big fly, you jump ship. We come back here to the 9th inning. He starts you off a little wrinkle, trying to go soft to KD. The crusher. We know better. Take us through that mindset. Take us through that last AB.
I was just trying to get on base and swinging a good pitch, basically.
Well, that's exactly what happened, my friend. Doing damage. We're clapping hands here. Now, I tell you what. The fans can feel it. We can feel it. Big Mo, momentum knocking at the door. Do you believe in momentum, and is that what we've got going on right now in the East Bay?
Yeah, we're about to go to the playoffs. That's what our goal is.
Well, KD, I'm going to let you get out of here, man. You go clap hands. You're doing big things. Let's let the rest of these fans enjoy your handiwork, my friend. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, D. Go Oakland.
You heard it, folks. That's your MVP, Chris Davis.
All right, so again, 9th walk-off of the year, and belongs to Chris Davis. So a sensational season, and he is an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
There's absolutely no question about that. But most importantly, I mean, the A's are really on the verge of getting this postseason thing taken care of, and it's pretty exciting.
And you know, Bob Millman again said it best. These guys deserve it because they have had a fantastic since June 16th, and what they have done in their second half of the season, actually since June 16th, and so many guys have contributed. Blake Trinan tonight, 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down. Remember back in April, he went 3 innings in a game against the White Sox. He could have gone again, but they now have more guys in the bullpen that they can turn to. But tonight, Blake Trinan coming back from the birth of his second child. He comes with 2 perfect innings, and the A's pick up a victory thanks to Chris Davis again.
All right, 3 hours and 21 minutes in front of a very lively crowd of 27,558. The A's walk it off. Magic number 3. Let's head out to the treehouse.